Up next, I would like to invite a spokesperson from Democracy from Hong Kong, Scotland, Alyssa, to give us a bit about the reason of us doing this event here and its relation to the Scottish population.
Hi, I'm a mixed race Hong Kong British person, and today I want to address the UK locals and talk about why the CCP is a distraction to all of us. So the Chinese Communist Party has and continues to pave a path of destruction to our cultures, our histories, our people and our freedoms. This is not a problem that is only isolated in the East, and I want to talk about why all of us here in the UK should support the diaspora and start talking about the CCP as a threat to our freedoms. Throughout our lives, the Chinese Communist Party has obliterated several millions of our people. They started with the total cultural erasure of Tibet, and then they began with what we now know as a genocide against the Uyghurs. They constructed concentration camps to destroy any freedom of thought. And 2 years ago, their newest target became focused on eradicating all our basic human rights in Hong Kong. You may think that these problems are just regional conflicts in the East, but we can assure you that the CCP has its influences in all corners of the world. In 2020, the CCP strengthened their strangulation of our basic human rights with the National Security Law, which stipulates that anyone who undermines the People's Republic of China will face 10 years to life imprisonment. The democratic way of life that we live here in the UK that allows freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of press, and freedom of expression are the very things that are punishable by law at the hands of the CCP. British citizens have arbitrarily been imprisoned and tortured at the hands of the CCP, such as British citizen Peter Humphrey in 2015, Irishman Richard O'Halloran, Swedish citizen Peter Darlin, and Canadian Michael Kovrig are just some of the Westerners who have felt the wrath of the CCP. To anyone who still needs convincing that the CCP is a threat to our British life should know that British intelligence, MI5, has identified CCP agents and loyalists within our own government here in the UK. And on a personal note, as a British national who's descended from a British white woman, you would have thought that this protected us from the traumatic experiences that all of us have faced. Unfortunately, like many of us standing here today, I and my mother carry physical and psychological scars from what we assumed were peaceful protests. We can remember the sounds of police batons beating our own children, remember the piercing sounds, of gunshots, and we remember the burning of our eyes and lungs from tear gas. The CCP are indiscriminate in their attacks on our freedoms. Their domestic policies have shown that this is how they will act in their foreign policies. We didn't think that it would happen in our lifetimes, but it has. Our grandparents fought wars to keep the CCP out of from taking over. Our parents stayed in Hong Kong believing the CCP lies that we would keep our freedoms, and now the next generation are facing a future where our identities, our culture, and our history are completely stripped from us. We fully understand that this is not a relatable topic at all for most, and it's really hard to grasp and imagine just how destructive the full force of the CCP is, but we know, generations of our family know, and we personally and generationally have felt the physical and psychological torture of the CCP. We can tell you that you don't want the CCP to gain any more power. So if you care about our lives and the future of your own country, support us by condemning China and boycotting the genocide games. Stand with Hong Kong. Stand with Tibet. Stand with Uyghurs. Stand with Southern Mongolians. And stand with Taiwan. Thank you.